Whoa! What the fuck? We're here on the airwaves. The only podcast with Demigloom. Okay. Oh, it's just gonna become Demigloom and X? Is that gonna be the show? Oh my fucking god. Okay, yeah, Demigloom knows the situation. She's fixing it. Sorry, it's been just me for the past fucking minute. I don't even have the stream pulled up. I wish I could, but hello, Theta May. Anybody else who may or may not be here.
Am I here? Am I back? All right, everybody, tell me.
Yes,
Chat,
okay.
chat. Can you hear me? Oh my God, chat. Can you hear me? Tell me if I'm too loud. Tell me if I'm too quiet. Tell me if me and Riley are at equal volume. You know, do all that shit. Tell us all that shit right
Yeah,
now.
how's the
How's
volume
the volume?
leveling? Can you hear
How's the stream going?
Demigloom?
I know the stream isn't that delayed, by the way. I know you guys heard that and aren't chatting, so
I
fucking
also
tell
don't
us.
see us on the stream. I don't know. Oh, wait, no, there
Okay,
we go.
Sonic the Centipede says we can hear. You can hear. Y'all can hear us now. Theta May says, "Yep." And they said, "Yeah, you're good. We're all good." Okay,
Okay,
sounds
okay,
good.
okay, 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 we're
Cool.
good, we're good.
Lots of news. Lots and lots of news. I
Big
realize
news.
I disappear from the internet for a while, and then I come back looking all crusty like this. Like, I swear to God, I haven't
You're
showered in 2 days because I've been very busy.
that
Um,
hair, that hair that I'm looking at does not even know what a comb is.
Never once heard of a comb. No, actually, I don't comb my hair. I brush my hair. But yeah, my hair is also starting to fade. I need to also, yes. Spice Try says also, yes, the stream is that delayed. Okay, okay, I didn't know that. My bad.
Regardless of how crusty you look, Debbie Gloom, I couldn't be more thrilled to
Me
be
too.
back on the airways with you.
Hey, Riley's always this crusty, so I don't have to feel bad.
True, I probably look crusty as shit.
You actually look pretty good right now. What's your shirt
Well,
say?
thank you.
Big Daddy.
It says Big Daddy League. I think it's a baseball thing. I don't know where I got this shirt. It's just kind of like
It just
there.
spawned in your wardrobe.
It just spawned. Yeah.
All right, all right. As I was saying earlier, middle school GSA is not over. Well, middle school GSA is probably over because we're gonna change the name. But the show, as you know, it is not over. Um, in the sense that it'll be still
There's gonna
happening.
be a Demigloom podcast. We're
There's
gonna
gonna be a
call it the
Demigloom
best debate in the
podcast,
universe.
the
It's
best debate of the
gonna.
universe. Yep. No. Yeah, I have guests line up for MS for the show formerly known as Middle School GSA. Whether or not Felonious Ferris is
Are
coming
we gonna
back,
do
I
the
don't know.
Freeze Peach episode? The me and you.
Fuck it, let's do it. I don't care. I'll do anything right now. Like now, I just want to have fun. You know, with MSGSA, with Felonious Ferris, I was really focused on keeping the conversations productive and whatnot. And right now, for a while, I want to have fun. I just want to have fun. I want to have. I want to. I don't want to. I don't want to forget about politics. I don't want to leave that behind.
I do like productive though. I like doing like productive tiled. It's not something I do. We kind of try to do it over on the death stream, but obviously we often devolve because we're both silly gooses. But
Squeebo said you got it from farming XP at the homeless shelter. Sonic the Penny Seed says you should get Isabel and Riley from their awesome weekly music review show that comes out every week. I should.
Yeah, well then why don't you fucking set a recording date, fuckhead? I'm waiting.
Sonic the Centipede isn't 12 anymore, so I don't feel weird about having our own podcast. We should do it. We should do a show. Um, it'll be fun. I
Well, like
what do you mean?
not like a
I'm
whole show, you
No,
mean,
no,
do
no, no.
you? Or just
Just like a
okay.
guest. Bell, if Bell wants to come on MSGSA, then sure, we could talk about anime or something. Like, I'm totally down.
Yeah, we should have you on the music review show as well. Pick an album that the
Oh
three of
yeah,
us can do.
oh yeah, totally. But like, so I know I realized I just wanted to make it clear. I didn't mention it. I don't know if I said this before or after I was muted. People might be a little concerned that I disappear for weeks and I come back crusty and delirious and excited, like weirdly excited, like I might be manic or something. I'm actually having a great time. I'm doing incredibly
I think
well.
it's time for the
I
I think
think
it's time for the Demigloom Renaissance in the Riley cinematic universe. So I think you've realized now that all along I have been the most reliable second voice in your life, and
mm,
I think you're ready to come back into my fold fully and become a true
because
RCU character again.
that's what people do when they're doing well mentally is they start hanging out with Riley more, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Sonic Centipede says Demi asked to do Everywhere at the End of Time on the review show. I think, yeah, but that's we talked about that album on this show, right? The Dementia album that's 6 hours long.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if I want
I
to
don't
do that.
I don't
That's
know
a
if
little
anyone
crazy.
the list, yeah, because you kind of have to listen to it in one sitting, or at least listen to each part like in their entirety, and they're each like an hour. So you'd have to listen to six. Basically, you'd have to listen to 6 albums for one review.
I want to listen to some like what's some girly bullshit you like? Cause I like girly bullshit. I
Some
know you
girly
like girly
bullshit.
bullshit.
Let me pull up my Spotify. Entertain chat for a second. Some
We're gonna
girly
find it. We're gonna
bullshit.
find some music, boys. Let's go. We're gonna make it happen.
There's a pop punk band who released a. If you like Avril Lavigne, you would like. I think you would like a lot more pop punk than just her. And there's a female, a girl band, a girl pop punk band called Diva Bleach, who I actually saw with Felonious Ferris live, and they dropped an album early 2025. Yeah, January this year, and I haven't listened to it yet, but I've listened to all the singles leading up to it, and I'm a huge fan of them. They're a really small band, but they make like girly pop punk music that I think you would like.
Well, yeah, as I talked about in depth in our second episode, which was about that Drake Bell album, I am a pop punk fiend, so I'm super down for that.
Fuck yeah, let's do it. Sonic Temper says, Demi, I've listened to his whole discog, The Caretaker. Theta May says, being a part of the old RCU definitely affects the mind. I love that Theta May knows about the RCU now, and
Yeah,
that
Theta May has
this
been on
term
two
means
episodes of
something.
the Issue Crew now. They're part of it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we had Theta May on twice.
That's amazing. I'm gonna loudly eat Takis for just 1 second because I haven't eaten anything yet today.
Just nice crunch, nice ASMR.
Theta May says, do Lord's Pure Heroin. Spice Try says, Lord is pretty great. Never got into Lord. I liked her on Charlie XCX's album, the Brat remix album. It was very fun.
Scubo doesn't want to come on the Issue Crew. I'm calling Scubo out.
You invited them and they
Yeah,
declined?
we had an interaction like 2 months ago. They were like, I have an issue. I don't know if I would want to come on the show though. And I'm like, wow, you don't want to come on the show? And they're like, I don't know the dynamic. I have to like listen to some new episodes, and I never heard back. So as far as I can extrapolate, Squeebo wants nothing to do with the Issue Crew. It seems.
Sonic the Centipede says Chapel Rome. That's some girly pop. We could do Chapel Rome.
I've been hearing about this Chapel Roan character. I've never heard any of her music. I've been hearing about her. I heard she had an Ariana Grande Fortnite skin that she really liked, and that made a lot of people find her relatable and be like, "Oh my gosh, that's so me."
Okay.
That's all I've heard about
Theta
Chapel
May says
Roan.
can't blame
Is
Squeebo. Chaperone. Chaperone is straight up pop music, but it's really good. And she's a lesbian, so I forgive her for being a pop artist.
that first thing you said is really appealing, though. I do want to do that. What was the band?
Diva Bleach.
Yeah, if they have a good album you can recommend, that would be a good
I
episode, I think.
so they released an album recently. I haven't listened to the album, but like 5 songs on here ish. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 songs. 3 out of 10 of these songs are total bangers, and the rest of them I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't heard them yet. I've been putting off this album for a while because of things we'll talk about today. Without going into grotesque detail, because let's be honest, I'm an in and out mental patient. I have been for the past couple years. We don't need to get into like the grotesque details of why.
I'm
But
surprised
I
you're
do have some
talking about it
stories.
because the whole time you were there, you were like trying to be coy.
Um, that's because I don't want 4chan to like AI clone my voice and
To
send in a
find you.
bomb threat.
Yeah.
Like, I have to actually worry about the trolls. Like, I feel like Chris Chan sometimes, like talking about the
The
trolls.
trolls are coming for
The
me.
trolls are coming for me.
I like that I'm a part. I like that sometimes they're like troll ops watching you and they see me. I
Mm-hmm.
hope they like me. I hope I'm appealing to those types of characters because I try to be.
I hope the transphobic trolls that send Demigloom death threats like me, is what you're saying. You want to appeal. That's your
I
demographic.
hope. Listen, I don't want them to be. They suck and they should stop doing it. But like when they're doing it, who wants to like be listening to shit, and not even be entertained? I hope I'm getting a little bit of entertainment at least.
Yeah, true. Me too.
Demigloom's 4chan trolls say if I'm funny on 4chan, and maybe somehow it will find its way to me.
I'm definitely exaggerating though. Like, I don't actually actively worry about them. It's just something that I have to worry about, like, just in case another Dark Sapo happens. I don't want, like,
Oh yeah, shout out to Dark Zappo.
miss that guy. Dark Sapo, if you're watching. And the funny thing about Dark, you know the clip from the meet the
Zappo, come home.
meet the spy, the TF2 video, where the
No.
spy, it's like he's the spy. Do you know how TF2 works, right? You can play as a spy, and
Yeah, there's
you
like a
look like there's a
spy, there's a
spy,
scout,
and when you're the spy,
a medic.
they think you're
The
on
medics,
the
they
enemies
don't
think
heal
you're on
the
their team.
scouts.
No, they don't. It's true.
I know this from a silly song from YouTube.
The thing though is, there's like a clip where he's like, he could be me, he could be you, he could be any one of us, and that's how I feel about Dark Sapo. He could be any of us.
It
Any
could
of
be
us
any
could
of
be
us.
Dark
I could be
Sapo.
Dark Zappo
You could
right
have been
now.
Dark
Like
Sapo all along.
pull off my face like Scooby Doo. It's like Demigloom, claim your destiny or whatever he says.
Claim your sainthood.
Claim your sainthood.
Sonic the Centipede says, or sorry, Theta May says, Riley, you absolutely do appeal to them. Sonic the Centipede says, what board do people even talk about you on Lamau? R9K, LGBT, R9K and LGBT, and B, I think people talk about me on B. I don't know. But people don't talk about me on 4chan anymore. But like, if I did post on 4chan, which I haven't in years now, people know who the fuck I am. They'd be like, shut up, Demigloom. Like, I posted my face trying to troll 4chan one time. Like, it's what I used to go on like these incel boards and post like the most ugly, like grotesque selfies I could possibly post and ask for looks maxing advice to see how stupid they were. And I at first it worked, and then after they became familiar with me through the negative XP drama mainly, they're just like, shut up, Demigloom. We're not falling for you anymore. Sonic the Centipede says, damn it, I don't go on those ones. You shouldn't be going on any of them. They're bad. 4chan is bad. Don't go on 4chan. Not even like to lurk, not even to troll. It's bad. It's bad for you.
I've actually never been to the real website. I've been to like archive boards because they talked about me in a roundabout way. But I've never actually went to 4chan and browsed it.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's kind of a shell of what it used to be. Not that it was ever a good place. I mean, there was some good, cool shit that happened out there with like Anonymous and the Scientology thing, even though it was pretty Reddit atheist pilled. But there was some chill activism going on 4chan.
Like this is probably morally dubious to a lot of people, but I think I kind of like being like a villain whisperer. Like I can play tennis with Bowser sometimes. And I think that's enjoyable.
You think that's going to be controversial to me and my audience, given what I'm famous for?
Yeah, I guess
that's
not.
Literally what I do. That's my entire branding. Is I can fix him. Is my whole. I'm the I can fix him trans woman.
Yeah, I just every once in a while playing tennis with Bowser, racing Mario Karts with Bowser. You know, you gotta get in with the enemy.
Sonic Centipede says, you'd fuck with 4chan. It's fun. It's real cozy, edgy, old internet vibes. No, it's not. 4chan is bomb threat racism vibes. Don't go on there. It's just it's just obnoxious racism is basically what it is. There's no reason to go on there. It's nothing fun or good happens on there. The only time that's like fun, the only fun to be had on 4chan is like on accident when you run into somebody else who's on 4chan just trying to fuck with the people there. Sorry, Demi, I'll stop trolling you, lol. Oh, I think she's trolling me. Okay. Insight, stop talking about 4chan, says Spice Chai. Spice Chai also says boo. Insight, true. Boo.
So real.
10 big boos.
Thumbs down.
Boo. Boo. Sonic Sunbeam says, who is Insight? You know who Insight is. You're Insight. Don't even.
L plus ratio plus hasn't done our podcast in like a month.
True. Very true. You want to know my new favorite fidget? Is this
What's your new favorite fidget?
This feels weird talking about on the show, but whatever. Nasal Narcan spray.
What the fuck?
I like to fidget with the little bottle. It was used. I attended a demonstration for how to use Narcan, and they gave me the empty bottle or empty container, and
Well, I'm glad you're receiving this valuable education, this valuable life lessons.
In case you didn't know, guys, Narcan, pretty cool stuff. You should look up how to use Narcan, especially if you live in a city where people do drugs all the time. Spice Chai says, Demi, you should review that logo I made on stream. I will if Riley agrees to pull it up, because I don't want to fuck with the stream setup and
I can't pull stuff up.
That's right. Okay. Spice Chai says, Lamau, that's awesome. I think they're referring to the Narcan thing. But yeah. Who can? Narcan. Spice Chai says shame. Yeah, big shame. I'll look at it though. The logo for Trans Fat Experience they're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, is it finished? Squeebo, is it finished? Sorry, Spice Chai. If it's finished, Database says I carry Narcan on my work van. Good.
Demigloom, you gotta fucking post this shit to Spotify, dog.
That's true. Very true. See, I would assure you that it's gonna happen, but like I know you don't trust me, so.
Yeah, every time you keep assuring me every time I bring it up, but then it never happens. What are you eating now? You just had Takis.
Valentine's Day chocolate. It's pretty good stuff.
Okay. Fucking Mo Diggity needs to wake his ass up so he can pay me.
Spice Chai says, I'm finished. If y'all don't have any issues with it, I'm happy with how it turned out. Cool. Send it to me on Discord. I'll take a look at it. Like right now. We can pull it up later, maybe.
Alex and Penguin gave me $10 for almost no reason last night.
What did they?
So we were doing a Nuzlocke, and they wanted to do this like certain thing that kind of skirted around the rules. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I'm kind of uncomfortable, but they really wanted to do it. And Alex was just like, what if I give you $10? And Penguin was like, what if I also give you $10? And I was like, for $20, I definitely will let you do that. And they actually did both give me $10.
Squeebo sent me a DM asking me how I got banned from incels.is, the incel forum. And I got banned for being gay, literally. They banned me because I was gay. They were like, no gays. Banned. It was pretty funny. Sorry, eating Takis makes me snot excessively, so I just kind of have a towel here that I'm just like wiping the water that's dripping out of my nose from. So sorry if that's yucky to you fucking prudes.
It's gross.
It's gross. It's not gross.
It's gross.
It's part of being a human. Everybody has to wipe their nose.
Everybody's got a nose. You know how it goes.
Oh, I got hair on my fucking nostril. God damn it. Okay.
Get it?
Yeah. So do we want to talk about what happened to Demigloom?
Yeah, what did happen to Demigloom? Tell us.
Demigloom is not missing. Demigloom is not dead. And Demigloom is not deported, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't send me back to Poland, because that's what Trump is trying to do. He's trying to send us all back to Poland.
Sending them all back.
We're sending them all back. All the Jews, all the Poles. Every last one of them. Yeah, no.
Man, what a nightmare scenario that guy's been.
Yeah.
I feel like you went in right at like the precipice of that. So like we barely even touched on just like what nightmares he's brought upon the world.
It's scary because like we're not seeing a lot of the consequences yet. We're just seeing him like hover like doomsday over us, you know? Just like making just walking the path towards doomsday.
We're seeing
He
him
hasn't
make win
pushed the big
after
button.
win,
We haven't seen him
and us
push
having
the
to take it.
I'm going to be winning so much that you're going to say, "Mr. Trump, it's too much winning. We have to lose something."
You're
Sorry.
smoke too tough. You bitch too bad. They'll kill you.
Spice Chai says, "I'm seeing consequences in my personal life." Lol. What kind? What's happening? I assume it has to do with the. I won't get into that, but yeah. I guess I'm saying. I guess I'm saying. I haven't seen any in my personal life, and mainly I'm talking about the trans stuff, like for the trans community and the queer community. We haven't seen a whole lot of. Not a lot of life ruinage has happened yet, but we're on the path to it, and it's hovering over us. It seems like. Theta May says, Riley, Blackbread owe you $100. Does he?
Does he owe me $100? I don't know why, but
Oh, did they
he
just
should
make
give
that
it to
up?
me.
Blackbread should
Maybe
give you
maybe I did,
$100.
and I think Captain Blackbread needs to pay up.
Spice Chai says, my mom is being forced to spend thousands of dollars that she doesn't have on an immigration lawyer. Yeah, I thought so. That's pretty bad. Sorry. I wish I had more to say about that, but I'm actually not. I'm not.
Scuba's not gonna get deported, are they?
No,
Okay.
it's not for them.
Okay.
Squeebo, if you would like to come on if you would like to come on my platform and discuss the implications of recent policy and rhetoric on the Ukrainian American community slash the community in Ukraine, or the security of Ukraine and its borders and its territory. If you would like to talk about all of that on my platform, please feel free, because you know what the fuck you're talking about. I unfortunately really don't. Not right now, no, not today. But we could do like a Ukraine thing for MSGSA. I would love to do that. I would like to do use that platform for that. Sorry, I'm a little Riley. What do I tell them? How do I describe my state of mind right now?
I don't know. What is your state of mind? You tell
Um,
me.
a little loopy for no particular
Loopy?
reason. No particular reason.
Okay.
I didn't make any decisions that would lead me to become loopy. I just
Okay,
happened to
okay.
have woken up loopy this
Yeah,
morning.
okay. I see what you're
Groggy.
saying.
Let's go with groggy. We can go with groggy. Say I'm really a little funny right now. Just feeling a little silly, goofy.
I'm also a little silly goofy right now.
Also, check this shit
I almost
so
cried
cool.
about Power Rangers last night, okay? That's the state I'm in. Extreme
Games. What does it say?
Online.com. Is that even still a website?
Extremegamesonline.com. Yeah, I went to a game store in Chicago, and I don't know how well you can see the colors. I don't know. Can you tell that that's like purple and green?
Oh, it's a website for a game store.
Yeah, I went to the game store, and
I assumed you had gotten like a T-shirt for like some old like Flash game website that
No.
kids used to go to.
Sonic the Centipede says, my mom is an immigrant too, but from Russia, Lamau. Oh. Two sides of two opposite sides of the coin, I guess. But yeah, I actually really like this shirt, and my friends were like, "Don't get that shirt. This shirt is stupid. You're gonna walk around with a game store shirt." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, it was a cool game store."
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Game store shirts. Fun fact: they only make them 2XL and above. You cannot get a large or medium game store shirt.
Wow. They know their
See,
demographic.
it was a joke about fat people going to game stores,
Yeah,
but nobody
I
laughed.
got that at
Nobody
the
thought it was
end, and
funny. So,
I expanded instead of laughing.
yeah. What happened to me? So, what happened to Demigloom?
What did happen to Demigloom?
Demigloom Um, let's see. Let's just say I fought and I could fight more. But ole ole oh lord, I was back in the psych ward. You know,
There you go.
trying to rhyme, trying to make it a little snazzy rhyme, and it's not working because I can't freestyle. But I went back, guys. I went back to the loony bin. It was crazy. And there's two kinds of there's like two there's basically two main forms. There's all types of weird shit going on. But like the two when you say I'm going to the mental hospital in Wisconsin, I don't know if it's I don't know where in more places than Wisconsin, but particularly in Wisconsin, if you say I'm going to the mental hospital or I went to the mental hospital, you can be referring to inpatient or residential. Now, inpatient is when you're in an act where you are in active crisis and you need to get your shit together, ground yourself, and prepare to discharge for the outside world. So inpatient is usually full of people who are in a lot of adult inpatient is full of people who are in active psychosis, people battling all kinds of things, people in a like physical health crisis for an eating disorder, people in mainly though people who are actively suicidal, suicide risks. Excuse me. Um, Whereas residential is is less for your immediate safety and more so for learning skills to build a life worth living to prevent future um, mental health catastrophes. I went to both since this show has been on hiatus. I went to inpatient, and then from inpatient, they felt I was ready to go back to residential. Now, I've been to the same residential program, counting this time, 3 times in a year, which is not unheard of. And according to the staff of the hospital, that's what they call a Tuesday. According to my friends, that's what they call someone who's really fucked up. Um, Being in and out of the mental hospital has not been good for me. I mean, it's been good for me in the sense that it's what I needed, but like it's had ramifications for sure. So
Yeah.
I don't foresee myself going back anytime soon, mainly because I'm doing really well emotionally and mentally, and I'm really like I don't want to talk too much about suicidality because that's really hard for people to listen to. It would be I'd be putting a lot on my audience, just like really getting open about that. But it is something I've struggled with, and I can happily say right now that I am absolutely 100% dedicated to staying alive for a I was gonna say forever, but nobody lives forever. Um, if I die, it's not
Staying
gonna be at my
alive
own
till the
hand.
end of your natural lifespan.
Yeah. Staying alive, staying safe, all of that. I'm dedicated to my own safety, and I'm really happy, doing well emotionally. And everybody's gonna be like, "Well, that's what you said the last time you went to the hospital and you had to go back." But like, it's a little different this time. I'm so close to having a job. I have a job interview lined up. Hopefully they'll hire me. If not, I'll probably end up at Taco Bell or some shit. Um, you know, I don't want to say I don't want to. I'm not gonna say the company that I'm hopeful is gonna hire me because I don't need
I just
people
hope
calling
your
bomb
hours and
threats into
my
my
hours
job.
work out because this is gonna be the penultimate time we could do trans fat experience at this time. We're gonna have to pick a new slot.
Um, yeah, I was thinking I would work 5 days a week and have off on um Thursdays for sure. I was thinking having, or I was actually thinking having off on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but that's a lot of time.
That would be
Um,
good. Wednesday would be. I'm gonna be off Wednesday and Thursday, and I don't currently have any projects that record actively on Wednesday, so that would be ideal.
with Thursday at noon wouldn't work, would it?
Uh, Thursday at noon. Oh yeah, because I'm off on Thursdays, so yeah, I could do Thursday at noon.
If we could do Thursday at noon, that would be incredible because Thursday is a day I have to have off for reasons I won't get into. Um,
Okay, so yeah, we'll do this one on Saturday. We'll do next Saturday, and then from there, Thursdays at noon.
Thursdays at noon. Okay, you heard it here first, folks. Sorry if y'all are working on Thursday at noon. I could do my
Yeah, that's
best.
gonna be a
I
rough
could
time
still
slot, to be honest.
I could still try my best to be able to do this show at noon on Saturdays. But yeah, we'll just have to
I
see.
can't.
Oh, you won't be able to do it on Saturdays anymore.
Yeah, my days off, or I had weekends off for the longest time, but now that I'm a phone monkey again, the only way there were limited schedules, and the only way I could get 2 days in a row, which was a non-negotiable for me. I don't care what the fucking days are, but they have to be in a row. If I only get one day off at a time, that will fuck with my head.
Yeah, same.
So,
Because if you have work
uh,
the next day, it's not really a day off.
so what I had to settle for was I get Wednesdays and Thursdays off now. So I work both weekend days. I have a Friday to Tuesday work week.
Chatters, talk about whether or not you'd be able to catch the show live on Thursday, whether you'd be willing to watch it. Yeah, just discussing right now. Talk about your because you
Are
guys
you willing to
are
watch it as a VOD? I hope this show is watchable as like a podcast beyond
yeah.
its live
Interaction with chat
content.
is definitely very important, a very important part of the show. But
But
being
as
able to
long as
watch the
we
VOD,
credit who we're talking to, like it's like a part of the show that we can translate to future listeners. They can't be
yeah,
a part of it, but they can like hear it and
of
be
course,
like entertained by it.
of course, yeah, I agree entirely. Um, Datamite says willing. Okay, cool. Um, I think Squeebo or sorry, Spice Chai and Sonic the Centipede would be willing to watch this show. Um, okay, Datamite says willing, not likely, completely able. Okay, fair. Um,
It's a weird slot to be like a weekday during the day. Like if we could in the future secure like some sort of nighttime or weekend thing, but like for now just to keep the show going,
they said they definitely
Thursdays
watch
at noon is
recorded.
fine.
Spice Chai says,
Yeah,
"Damn it,
okay.
Demi, call me Squeebo." Okay, Squeebo. Um, I'll pick. It's so many of my friends have different names for different platforms, and it's confusing. I actually do look like a fucking zombie right now. This is crazy. But, however, why don't they have reverse microwaves? What the fuck is a reverse microwave? Said Sonic Centipede says, why don't they have reverse microwaves?
Dude, reverse microwaves. I don't know if I'm being quoted because I feel like I've talked about this before on a podcast. Where that would be so sick if there was a thing you could put something into to like make it cold really fast.
Oh. Sonic
Yeah.
was yeah, like you put it and cools it down for however amount of time you want it. A macrowave. That would be awesome. I think that
Like
exists.
you got like a nice glass of water, but it's lukewarm. Just throw
I
that
mean,
bitch in the reverse microwave for a minute. You got a nice ice cold glass of water.
that does exist in chemistry. So,
Somebody could invent this. We gotta patent it.
yeah. Anyways, I also Riley wouldn't be entirely opposed to making this a pre-recorded show with more structure. Um,
Yeah, but I like the live podcast
yeah,
thing.
it does make it
We
better.
could have more. We could have the best of both worlds. We could have more structure and still do it live.
Mm-hmm. Database says a flash freezer. What is this? That sounds like a thing that exists.
Basically, yes, that's what we're describing. I don't know if that exists, but that's what we're describing.
It freezes. It's for freezing meat in a matter of minutes, according to
Yeah, so basically that type of
ahicseafoodmarket.com.
technology, but like in like a kind of box where you can like throw a glass of water in there for 30 seconds and it's nice and ice cold, you know?
Yeah. See, in Wisconsin, if your pizza is too hot when it comes out of the oven, we just put it on the porch for a minute.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now in Florida, if your
You guys
pizza
have the
is
opposite that we just like when we
yeah,
want to make some nice eggs and we don't have an oven, we
you
just go
just
ahead and crack those
you just
open on
crack
the
those on the stove.
sidewalk.
You crack them on
Crack them on the fucking
on the
asphalt
on the
and
roof of the car.
cook them up.
Sonic Century says no, keep it a live show. Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's keep it a live show. Sure. Um, it adds more of a degree of separation from your podcast. It makes it more unique. This is true. Also,
I
Riley,
like to
why are
think of it
you?
as a podcast still, like something akin to what the biggest problem in the universe is now, where they stream it on YouTube and then they just put it on podcast platforms the next day. And it's like it is a podcast, but they stream it live and there's interaction. Like I like that format.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Um, can I get? Were we talking about any? Like, did we leave anything open, or can I get back to what happened to Demigloom?
I think we can go back to what happened to Demigloom.
So I was admitted to, I won't get into the details or whatever. I was admitted to an inpatient facility, and it was pretty cool. They had better food than residential. Um, there was this one fucking lady named Sherry who was constantly she was suffering from schizophrenia, like severe schizophrenia, was in active psychosis, and she was, and I say this not as a doctor, but as like it was unambiguously what was going on. Um, and she kept asking me what bands I liked. She was like, "Do you go to rock concerts?" And I was like, I was trying to get her away from me because I didn't want to talk to her because I was going through my own shit right now, and I didn't feel like comforting someone through psychosis as another mental patient. I'm just gonna say that very bluntly, like that's what the staff are for. She kept asking me if I go to rock concerts, and then anytime I named a band, she would just start like screaming their lyrics out loud, but like not like melodically, just like and I'm like, oh my god,
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ. And anytime anyone walked, she wanted to be friends with me for some reason, but anytime anyone else walked past her, she was in her like 40s or 50s, I think. She was going, fuck you, you fucking bitch ass, fuck you, fuck.
Well, at least you were the one
She was like, I'll
that
fucking kill you,
she
you
was cool
fucker.
with.
You motherfucker, I'll fucking kill you. She kept saying that to people. And I'm like, okay, there should be like degrees of mental health in patients, I think. And it was also a mix of that and an addiction unit. I'm not trying to tell horror stories. It was actually a pretty good experience overall. But they also mixed the addiction unit with the mental health unit. So you got people talking about like constantly talking about their drug addictions and their drinking and stuff. And it was like I just didn't really fit in, because the
Yeah.
recovery people, like substance recovery people, are really a clique, and I understand that. Like you guys are really bonding over that thing, and so are the mental health people. So we didn't really like normally like I make friends at that kind of place, but at inpatient, man, it was I didn't relate to anybody. There was one trans guy there who was really nice to me, and we kind of became friends. And then there was this girl there who was really cool too, and we hung out for a while. But I didn't get anyone's. I mean, I would never get anyone's number from a mental hospital. I would never stay in contact with someone I met in a mental hospital ever. But particularly here, I didn't. No, I
You
actually
did it
didn't.
extra hard this time.
Yeah, I did it. I didn't extra hard that time. Sonic Senpi says, I feel like this character is in every insane asylum movie. Yep, exactly. Like when a character is wrongfully deemed insane and sent to the asylum, they meet that exact person. True. Literally so true. And I can't,
This
this
is
is
the
one of those
plot of
tropes.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3, I think.
Is it?
Yes.
Dream Warriors?
Yes.
What do you think of Dream Warriors? That
It's
concept.
a great movie.
It's so cool, but so stupid at the same time.
It's really
Have you
stupid, but I
seen,
like it.
do you know the band Dokken? They made the song. You know the song Dream Warriors from the movie? It's like,
I
we're
vaguely
the
remember there
Dream
being Dream Warriors.
Warriors. It's like I remember back in the day when like they would make a song for a movie, they would just like say the name, like like Ghostbusters, like they would just say the name of the movie
Honestly,
in
I
a
feel like
song.
that it was kind of like a weird half-ass attempt at like being a more like action movie team up thing, but like it still had to be a slasher, so half of them had to die, so it like feels weird that they're building up like you guys are the Dream Warriors, you're like the destined ones to take on Freddy Krueger, and half of them just get murdered in an elaborate Freddy Krueger dream like everybody else does in all
Did
those
the kids
movies.
did the kids from that movie die?
I think all of them do actually eventually.
What?
But two of them survive until the next film, and
Hmm.
then in the beginning of the next film, Freddy kills the remaining ones. And they leave their friend who they only know in this next movie to be the one to defeat Freddy Krueger this time. And they recasted the main chick. She didn't want to come back to die in the next one.
Mm. Sound Centipede says, "My dad just met Bernie Sanders. Holy shit! I'm not even joking. That's cool. I went
That's
to a Bernie
awesome.
Sanders rally, but I didn't meet him." Sound Centipede says, "Whoa, Glascore. What's up, Glascore? Is it Glascore or Glascore? I keep forgetting. I'm so sorry."
Who do you
Says,
think? Do us Democrats have somebody right now? I saw a tweet and I wish I saved it. I don't remember if I retweeted it or not. Because I found it amusing. And I think it is a pertinent point where it's like, the guy who tweeted it, he called it the guy theory of politics,
mm,
where to have like to for your political party to like make any headway, you have to have a the guy. And
Yeah,
Donald Trump is like the biggest the guy ever.
yeah.
And the Democrats don't have a the guy right now.
No, we
Who's
don't.
out there who you think could be the guy like coming up? Like looking forward to the 2028 election, is there any Democrats making moves out there right now that you could see becoming a the guy in time for 2028?
Um, I haven't been keeping up with the news enough to make a call. I can see Pete Buttigieg.
I feel
Um,
like I hate that guy, but maybe I don't know why. I'd have to give him a
Spice
second
Shy.
look.
Sorry, Squeebo says Stephen A. Smith. I like him. He's fucking funny and he's relatable and he's cool.
Is Gavin Newsom good? I hear a lot of mixed bags about him.
I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know anything. I don't. Everybody thinks I know about politics. I don't know about politics. I know about ethics. I talk about ethics and social issues. I don't fucking know what a Congress is,
I'm
dude.
like kind of trying to start to learn about politics, but I don't want to like read books or whatever. I'm just like trying to talk to people about it and learn it through osmosis is my
That's how most people learn
strategy.
politics. Yeah, I think also most people don't actually know about politics or know how um, the branches of government actually operate. They just they just know about the president and think they control everything. Spice Chai says it's not Pete Buttigieg. I like him, but it's not him. Nope, Gavin just got a lot worse. He did a podcast with Charlie Kirk and made a hard pivot to the right. Yeah, great.
Oh, weird.
Maybe that's our the guy though. I mean, maybe we have to be. Maybe Democrats have to be a right winged party again, which sucks. I mean, not that we were ever properly like in a cleanliness, no purity. There was no left purity on the in the Democratic Party. I mean, they're bought and
Yeah,
sold just like
we had to
everybody
try to
else. But
appeal to like people who are a little bit more conservative to try to get some of them back on our side next time. I feel like
we
is
have to appeal.
the vibe.
Spice Try says Demi. That's what we did in 2024, and we lost so hard. Yeah, I think we need to simultaneously appeal to people on the center and people on the far left, the college kids, the people who want to free Palestine. It's hard. We're trying to appeal to both of those demographics because those are both votes that we need. We need to appeal to the dyed-haired pronoun individuals, and we need to appeal to the people who just want to grill. And unfortunately, you can't reach out to both of those one of those groups without pissing off the other. Theta May says, "Do we?"
And unfortunately, we
So if
also
we want to
can't piss
win,
off
yeah.
Israel for some suspicious reason we don't quite understand.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
because
Theta May says, "Do we?" Didn't work for Kamala. I mean, Kamala didn't. I don't know.
that actually would kind of appeal to both sides, right? Because they're the people who are, the people who are very like concerned about Palestine and have a moral obligation to protect those innocent people. And then there are the people who are like, we just don't want to aid any foreign wars people at all, and that includes Israel. And you could make both of those faces happy at the same time by being like, fuck you, Israel, but they won't do it.
Yeah. We don't have like a. American people aren't in love with Israel.
They
Like
act like we are, but we're not.
we're not really. No, we kind of hate Israel. A lot of us. I'm not saying everybody's a staunch free Palestine. You know, fucking whatever you want to call it. But like we're not in the American people are not like in love with Israel. We just either are indifferent to it or are kind of sick of sending so much foreign aid so they could bomb kids.
I
Spice Try says the
interacted with a
DNC
guy
is a fucking mess right
recently.
now.
This is
Hakeem
just
Jeffries is just one of the most embarrassing representatives I've seen. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
just as an amusing aside. I interacted with a guy on YouTube named Greatest Ally Israel recently.
Mm-hmm.
We had a silly little interaction. It was actually a couple months ago when I did one of my cope streams about Lolcat Live because I'll never get over it and I'll be seething and coping and Keemstar will live rent free in my head for all time. So occasionally I'll do a stream where I'm just like pissed about Lolcat Live. And this guy, their greatest ally Israel, came in, and he just like started spamming fat in my chat, and I was just like, okay, this is gonna be productive. So I just banned him just so the spam would stop. And then I ran into him later, in this there was like a anti lolcow show called lolcow Rejects for a time that
Oh
Grace
my
Thorpe
god.
was running. And I
Is
was
Local
watching
Live
that
like the new Dick Show? Like in the sense that it's a really small but simultaneously dedicated community of people that are like so dedicated and invested in the drama that they can make another show about it. Like
kind
is that
of it's really
the
it's
case?
really like a strange like cultish fan base, and I don't understand it because it's all fake garbage that I don't understand how people watch. Literally, they have all these spin-off shows now, and the first one, and seemingly the main one, is a show called Lolcow Queens, where it's
Mm-hmm.
just like there's girls and they're lolcows. And there's this chick named Becky Boop on there, who I guess like used to be a commentary YouTuber. And she like hooked up with Review Tech USA a couple times, and they had a bunch of drama. And she claims that he like raped her or something. And that's how she came back into the public eye more recently. And now she does this Lolcow Queen show. And I swear to God, every fucking time I happen upon, because I was following the Twitter account for a time, and then I unfollowed it eventually because I was like, I keep seeing this on my feed, and literally every episode is like, is Becky is fired, Becky's back, and she has to do a punishment. Becky's fired. Becky's back. And she has to do. It's like how many times can people watch the storyline of Keemstar fires somebody on the show and then they come back, but they have to do a punishment?
Mm-hmm.
Because that seems to be the only plot line that happens on any lolcap show now, is X gets fired and then X comes back, but they have to do a punishment for the reason they got fired.
The only thing that's gonna get me invested in Lolcow Live again is if Monkey Jones gets involved.
I felt they should have brought him on for an episode. Tommy C could have gotten it in. I feel like now he probably wouldn't do it
Yeah.
because I think him and Tommy are kind of cool, and he probably wouldn't appreciate how they did him.
Yeah. The funny thing about Lolcow Live is it's like a big part of the appeal is just brutally shaming the hosts for being fat. Like
But that wasn't what it was for a while. The original form of Lolcow Live, the show I really liked, was kind of like the Boogie and Wings redemption arc. It was like this kind of like exploration into like who they are as people, and like they would just like talk to guests, and they would just like hang out and talk about their lives, and you would learn interesting facts about these interesting like weird internet retards. And occasionally they would like have like an episode where they fought against the haters, and usually they won. Usually the haters got owned, and it was this kind of like positive, almost like redemption arc thing until the Boogie crypto scam happened, and then it became let's dunk on Boogie for the crypto scam, and then the Boogie cancer thing happened, and from there it was like, okay, obviously the dollar signs are we have to milk these lol cows, as was the idea the whole time. But we spent this whole year having this like actually like cool show where it was like this just like fun radio between these interesting internet weirdos and Tommy C, who's just a great broadcaster, and occasionally Keemstar, who's also a great broadcaster, just like talking about stuff and kind of like learning more about Boogie and Wings, who are these interesting like individuals with these interesting legacies. And then they smelled the syrup when they made so much money off the Boogie Cancer thing, and it was like, okay, so now it has to be drama and terrible shit every week, so we can keep raking money off of these internet creeps who love all the drama. And they fired Tommy C and tried to make it look like he was the bad guy
pretty
because
good stuff.
Keemstar has to win.
Yeah, of course. Keemstar is the Vince McMahon of the operation. You know, he can be the bad guy, but he can't lose.
Yeah. I like can't even like sometimes there'll be like an episode where they're doing something like I'm interested in. Like they had King Cobra on recently. Like they were talking about some drama maybe I was interested in. I'll try to listen back and like listening to I think mostly Boogie because like he's the one who I'm just like you're completely spineless for letting this occur because like you know the value that was in the show. You felt it more than anybody. I know you did because I was on a live stream with Boogie like days before the cancer stream where Wings almost quit the show and Boogie went on a whole like tirade and like called Wings and
Any
like
anytime you use the
negotiate
phrase "quit the
terrorists.
show," it's so funny to
Yeah,
me because it means nothing at all.
I
It means
know.
absolutely nothing when someone quit the show.
Yeah, the Wings quit the show. The thing is that people think it was fake the whole time, but like I have no reason not to trust Tommy C. He seems fairly credible, and from what he's said, it was not there was no fakery going on during his tenure, to his knowledge. So at least until near when Tommy C was fired, the show was genuine. And now it seems like literally everything is fake and stupid.
Yeah,
And Boogie and Wings both just have like no spine and just like will make all of their money sucking Keemstar's cock, because that's what the show is now. It's just like they all race to see who can suck Keemstar's cock the hardest, and
yeah,
whoever's losing gets fired and has to crawl their way back on the show
yeah. Pretty
and
much.
get punished.
Have you seen the video of
Get
Keemstar?
punished for the pleasure of Keemstar, so Keemstar can jerk off to you getting pied in the face or something.
Wait, did they do pie in the face on that show?
I think they did that to Kid Behind a Camera on Lolcow Queens.
Kid
Kid
behind
Behind
a
a
camera
Camera, who
is
I guess is a pedophile,
shocking.
and they're still letting him on the show. Like I don't know if I'm misunderstanding that situation, but from what I saw, I don't know if this is a work and they're just like lying entirely about this, which is to be expected from Lolcow Live, which is why I don't want to say this with certainty because I don't know if it's a grift for Lolcow Live. But the story, as it's told, is Kid Behind a Camera's wife lied about her age for the first 2 years of their relationship and was actually like 15. And he found out when she was 17 and they stayed together and got married and have been together to this day. With the knowledge they've been together since she was 15 that he gained when she was still a minor at 17,
And how old was
and
he when
they
she was like
continued
17?
the relationships. Like I think like 20s, well into 20s.
Okay, kid behind a camera.
So
So that means wait. So
that's
that means angry grandpa probably knew about this, and God rest his soul. But like, let's
yeah, I don't know.
that makes vindicate that incriminates angry grandpa too. One of my
So
favorite
yeah,
guys
that's the
ever.
story as it's told, and I guess Keemstar fired Kid Behind the Camera about this first justified firing Keemstar has made in this entire operation, and then all of the hosts came together to protest and say they were all going to quit if they don't let Kid Behind the Camera back, and they did. So now Kid Behind the Camera is a host on Lolcow Queens again, and we're just like okay with what he did. What?
Never look for consistency from Keemstar of all people, though. Let's be honest.
What?
Fuck Keemstar, dude. I'm so
What
glad.
is this shit?
We need to stop making this like a locale. Like we need to stop making this the Riley explains locale live to Demigloom show. Because I was into locale live like slightly during the boogie thing. Because like with him lying about having cancer, it was the first time I was like pretty much just okay bullying
This
the
was
shit
my
out of
favorite
Boogie.
show. I went to the airport sleep deprived because of the fucking Boogie Cancer stream. It was funny how that lines up in like the history of my life. The day before I flew to Ohio was the cancer stream. And I was ready to just watch like a regular hour or two locale live stream and then go to bed early. And then that stream, which was set up as just a normal locale live stream, Surprise, here comes Destiny to accuse Boogie of lying about cancer. And the rest is history. And the stream goes on for fucking 9 hours and brings in fucking Mr. Medicare and fucking and everybody under the sun. And fucking Boogie's freaking out and saying he's gonna kill himself. And everyone,
What do you mean?
and
You mean that? Wait, are you talking
I'm
about the
like,
clip? Are you talking about the clip where Boogie's like, I'm in so much, I'm in
I'm in
so
so
much
much pain.
joy.
I'm in so much pain.
I'm in so much
I think that
joy. I'm
might
in
have been
so
the
much
day
joy.
after,
I'm in
actually.
so much
But
joy. I'm in so much joy. I love
I'm in
being
so much
alive.
joy. I
I love
love
being
being
alive.
alive.
What a manipulative piece of shit for doing that on camera in the first place. Like, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. And even if he was experiencing a genuine psychotic break or something, um, the fact that he's making it everyone else's problem consciously makes me feel not so bad for him.
It was a talk show where Boogie and Wings were being painted in a favorable light, but still being like shit on for their flaws and like taking it in stride. And putting down some of the rumors that are not true. And then it devolved because Boogie's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It seems like it was just like pure like stupidity, like a web of lies situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like where it was literally just like his doctor told him he might have cancer. He interpreted that as he does have cancer. He made an internet video to garner sympathy, and then he found out that he actually only might have cancer. And he was like, "Well, I can't tell them now because then they're gonna say that I lied, and it's gonna be like a whole big deal." So then he just kept it to himself and continued to operate as if he had cancer, even though he only maybe had cancer. And then the web of lies caught up to him.
Yeah.
And the dramatic irony of it all is more than likely he does have this cancer. He just
Mm.
doesn't know for sure, so it was still a lie.
If he actually does get cancer, I'll feel really bad, but I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't have cancer so we can get mad. We can still be mad at him. But it's different when someone's like when someone
I
is
was kind of ready because it's like it was mostly stupidity, and like it wasn't like he could have grifted it a lot harder than he did. It was terrible. I was never gonna be like he's a good guy, but I was ready to move on and continue watching Locale Live, the regular talk show that I liked. And it seemed like that's what was gonna happen for a second, and then they like did that weird trickery bait and switch on Tommy C.
yeah.
Because the original plan was stated like Keemstar's done with the show. That was supposed to be a thing for a while, and then he came back for a while after the cancer thing, because dollar signs. And he was like, "Okay, I'm leaving," and now it's up to the three of you. Tommy C's coming back from vacation this week, and now it's up to the three of you. See you later. And then the story is the three got into a meeting and they're like, okay, let's not rush into things. Let's have a plan and we'll do a show on this day. And then Keem went on Twitter and he's like, "Look, these fucking idiots they're not even doing a show. They don't know how to run the show. What the fuck?" And that made Boogie and Wings panic and start a stream that Tommy couldn't attend because he had made plans. So he tried to like stop it because he was like, "We're supposed to have a plan. We were supposed to not rush into this. We just had this whole fucking meeting. What is going on?" So he deletes the stream to try to get them to like stop and talk to him. And then Keemstar locks him out of the channel, and they're like, "Tommy deleted the stream. We had to fire him."
Yeah. Can we talk about something else now?
Yes. Sorry.
Sorry, Locale Live is just like it's just I just get pissed as you do.
It makes me so mad because it was my favorite show. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling now. I think I'm feeling now what like Biggest Problem fans felt listening to Best Debate.
Yeah.
Like losing the Tommy from that equation is like losing Dick from that equation.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. I never really liked Tommy. Tommy and I have argued a lot on Twitter, and he said some weird transphobic shit, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't like his opinions, but I think he's a really entertaining broadcaster.
Of course.
Like I've been listening to his show a lot since I quit Lolcow Live, and I just think
Oh,
he's
you
like a
quit the
really
show
good
too?
entertainer. I did when they fired Tommy. That was it for me. I watched 2 episodes after that because they said they were gonna have World of T-shirts on, and then he bailed. And then it turned into World of T-shirts like handler guy is a criminal, and he like assaulted a man, and the cops were hunting for him. So I was kind of interested in the follow up to that story. So I watched the next episode, and that was it. That's the last time I've watched Lolcow Live. It's been several months. I've like started other episodes and I've been like, I can't listen to this. Boogie's
Mm-hmm.
voice makes me fucking like physically ill now because of how much a fucking like terrible snake he is.
Yeah. He could have redeemed himself, man. He could have taken that show as an opportunity to do so, but he
I think they should have boycotted for Tom. The fact that they boycotted for Kid Behind a Camera, a pedophile apparently, and did not boycott for Tommy C, the guy who founded the show with them, was just it's not
because
it. That's
Boogie and
not
Kid
it,
Behind a
bros.
Camera have been friends for decades now, right? Or
No,
like
that
over a
is
decade.
true. But there's obviously like a sense of loyalty there.
Yeah, but he's
But
a
the fact,
pedophile. So
but he's a pedophile. So what the fuck?
can we do one pet like one? Can we do one pedophile without? I was gonna say, can we do one pedophile without talking about a show?
It's
Can we do one show without talking about pedophiles?
just what's going on in the world recently.
Yeah, I guess recently, in the future, the past, the present.
It's just been out there more, which is a good thing and a bad thing in different ways.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because we catch more of the real ones, but then we pay more attention to the not real ones, and that's a
To
double-edged
me, though,
sword.
there's like not enough not real ones. There's
No,
not
you're
like that
right. You're
many,
right. You're right. It's a net
and
good
they
catching
usually
the most
usually the
pedophiles.
ones that are not real like get like they're free to go after a while. Like it's just that there's that blow up
It
period.
just like it's unfortunate that these people can like have their lives derailed by things they didn't do. Like it's unfortunate that the system exists in such a way that makes that like possible.
Yeah,
But it's overall a net good for the world, so we have to tolerate it.
yeah, I think so too. But I think that though I think it's overall pretty good because like most people who get falsely accused of being a pedophile end up like having some kind of receipts and end up clearing their name like over time. It's just a really unfortunate shit stain on like your resume, having been accused of being a pedophile.
Yeah,
It
it's not
sucks.
good for you.
Or, sexual assault or whatever. Like, but like, man, you can there's a way to beat the allegations, man. If they're not true, you tell that you come out and talk about it. I think people approach it the wrong way. People approach accusations the wrong way. I don't know, just come out with sympathy or come out with like
Sometimes
basic
all you
human
have to do
empathy
is say I
for.
didn't do it, and people believe you.
Yeah, you don't have to be. These lying bitches in their fucking movement think they can accuse anyone of anything and ruin their career. Well, I'll tell. Like, no, everyone who does
That
that,
works though. That grift works for people.
it works for people in their weird alt right fan base, but it doesn't work for.
Exactly. It works for them to be able to continue to subsist.
But like, I think the person who handled it the best was Quite. Like, this is gonna sound so weird, but like, I didn't care about the YouTuber Quite at all. And then he got accused of sexual assault, and for a week, the internet was like, "You're a disgusting rapist." And
I
he actually handled the
actually
situation so maturely, with so much like understanding of, with such great understanding of what sexual assault is, and concrete evidence that he didn't do it. That it was handled so maturely that I actually, ironically, gained respect for him over
yeah,
it.
no, I ended up following that saga. I knew of Quiet. He was actually I have this situation with a lot of YouTubers where I'm not into their main channel that people actually know them for, but they were on a podcast that I like.
What podcast was
He
Quite
did
on that you
quite
like?
Quiet used to have a podcast called Loudmouths with
Yeah.
Wild Spartans and FPS Diesel, and I was super into that shit back in the day.
Hmm.
So I knew of Quiet. I was subscribed to Quiet, and I started hearing about this Quiet shit, and I was like, "Yo, really?"
Spice Chai
Um, and it
says, sorry, go on.
and it kind of sounded shaky from the start, and then Quiet's response came out, and it was like, "Damn, he really handled this very maturely and very, succinctly, and disproved the claims. What a hero."
What a Chad. Spice Chai says, talk about Andrew Tate getting shipped over to the U.S. I didn't know that was happening. Did you know anything about that?
I knew that he came back to the U.S. for a while, and he was in Florida, and Ron DeSantis was like, "We fucking hate you, and we're gonna arrest you for being pedophiles," and
Good.
and then Andrew Tate was
Based
like,
Ron
"I'm lit,"
DeSantis.
and then
Shout out
Andrew
to
Tate was
Meatball
like,
Ron.
"Hell yeah," and then Andrew Tate was like, "I'm out of here," and then some other Florida guy was like, "That doesn't mean we're not still running a criminal investigation, you fuckers. So you better fucking fuck off, because we're gonna get you, you fucking bitches." So Florida taking a hard stance against the Tates.
Nice. Rare Ron DeSantis W. You know, I'll cheer on a Republican for doing a good thing, taking the right stance, doing the right thing.
Man, dude, the Epstein files thing, I've complained about this on like 8 different podcasts, so I don't want to get too deep into it, but man,
what the
what a
cock tease that
fuck
it
up.
was?
What a fucking wow, look at these fucking files. They say nothing. They fly out fucking libs of TikTok to dance around with a little binder that just contains jack shit. And then the government rickrolls people about the identities of child rapists.
Yeah,
Isn't that a cute little joke we did, guys? We said here's the Epstein list, and we rickrolled you.
yeah.
I'm never gonna
Libs
give
of
you
TikTok,
up.
Libs of
Isn't that
TikTok is
funny,
so
guys?
like, even for a Republican, is so uniquely evil that anybody who actually supports Libs of TikTok should get shot in Roblox. Like, actually,
If you listen to the issue crew that's hopefully gonna come out tonight, maybe tomorrow, I actually brought in Libs of TikTok as my issue
fuck yeah,
because
I'm
I
listening. I'm listening.
hate her
I'm listening.
so
I'm gonna
much.
listen to the issue crew for it. Um, Glasscore says, I think the only allegations that I think you can only shake off the allegations when your fame is bigger than the voices that, or they have concrete evidence. Not true. It's bullshit. Um, you don't need fame. You don't need clout. You just need to be right and have evidence that you're right. Unfortunately, you can't always prove. You can't. Unfortunately, some people who lie about who make false accusations, are actually pretty good at making the lies pretty good at lying and don't like say the stupid shit like I was here on this day with Demi when there's proof that it's Demi with the person when there's proof that they weren't. Um yeah, unfortunately like there sometimes you just can't prove you weren't at a place at a certain time or you can't prove that you didn't do something because there wasn't a camera or you didn't sign a fucking contract, but at the same time um most of the time like the if someone has an elaborate story there's going to be holes in it. Sonic Centipede says Demi hates Liz of TikTok so much she's gonna listen to the issue crew. True.
Imagine listening to the issue crew.
I've done it. I listened to all the biggest or all the largest issue in the galaxy.
That was a good show.
That was a good time. Like back when I was
What
a
a
fan
time
of
in our
yours and we weren't even
lives.
friends yet, I was just listening to your old show and playing Minecraft all the time. Who would have known we would become like besties over time?
Yeah, I'm glad we did. I'm glad things worked out that way. Because I think you might be one of the most like uniquely talented broadcasters that I work with. You have kind of this chutzpah about you
Oh, thank you.
that I think is unique.
Yeah. Database says issue crew is a roller coaster. True. Sonic Centipede, I've listened to every Riley podcast that I appear. Okay, cool. You listen to your own podcast. Shout out to you, I guess. Do you ever listen to your own
And I
podcast?
every once in a while. Very rarely. I'll even ones I'm not on, sometimes I won't catch. Occasionally I'll listen to the ones I'm not on, and every once in a blue moon I might go back to an old episode and be like, I want to reminisce on this time that I had, and I'll listen to it. But and sometimes, like, as the years go by, I'll look back.
Sonic the Centipede asks, "Are you if she's one of the most uniquely talented broadcasters you've ever worked with?"
You also, yes, I would say yes.
I don't think so. I think she's one of the most uniquely
I
talented
would say her power
people.
level is less than Demigloom's, but you are uniquely
I would
talented.
say she's uniquely talented, and I would say she's one of the most talented people you've worked with. But I don't think she's the most talented broadcaster. As far as like being on a podcast, I don't think that's her strongest suit. I think I think her stronger suit is scripted stuff and art and
She's an
music.
analyst.
Just an analysis, exactly. But hey, I haven't listened to y'all's music podcast, and talking to Belle about music is super fun. Always a good time. So maybe that's uniquely entertaining. Glass Core says maybe below Michael Knowles.
By the way, I
Especially in
got
that
into
college
Trevor
film.
Moore since
Okay.
the last time we talked. I didn't know shit about Trevor Moore, and then I started watching some Whitest Kids You Know clips and other Trevor Moore stuff, and now I get it.
Did you watch any of High in Church?
I did not see High in
Mm.
Church. I saw a gallon of PCP. I saw the one where he is explaining like
Wait,
9/11 was an inside job to
wait a minute.
children.
You weren't listening to a particular podcast episode where they were talking about these skets and then looked them up, did you?
No.
Okay.
I've probably like passively years ago I might have heard
Yeah.
about some of them on a podcast. But yeah, Gallon of PCP, the one where he's explaining to like an elementary school class like conspiracy theories about 9/11. That
Amazing
one was
classic.
hilarious. The one about the president one is maybe one of the funniest things to ever happen.
That's pretty good. Did you see the one where they're at the theater and there's a guy being rude? They're
No.
at the theater watching Hamlet and there's this one guy like talking shit the whole time. He's like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh my god, ah!" And they reveal that it's Abraham Lincoln, and one guy's just pissed at him for talking during the play.
I don't think
They
so. I don't
slowly
think I
reveal
saw
that it's
that one.
Abraham Lincoln and that this is how Abraham Lincoln died.
I've only scratched the surface of Trevor Moore.
Oh, dude. Did you watch any of his non-whitest kids you know content? Because you said you watched.
I saw him tell a story like on stage about how he went to Mexico.
Oh, the Comedy Central.
Oh,
This is not
accidentally.
happening. Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite shows. Like
And
how hard,
he
how
accidentally
you
he
can't get.
accidentally almost went back to Mexico, and he made them like escort him down the road back because they were
Yeah,
gonna force him to go into Mexico, and he was like, "I'm not gonna let you do that."
you need to get into because you're into like comedians on podcasts. You need to get into stand-up comedy, and you have to do it with me.
Okay. What comedians do you like?
I actually just tweeted about this recently. My top 5 comedians.
There are comedians like I've heard now on like comedy radio that I'd like to
Yeah,
see their stand up. Like Jim Norton, fucking Norm Macdonald for sure, because that guy, everything I see of that guy is top notch.
Norm Macdonald is so funny because he literally in one of his stand-up specials, he literally talked for like 20 minutes about how he goes to parties just to get those little triangle sandwiches and how he can't find them anywhere. He talks about that for like 20 minutes. He's like, I go to the
I can
grocery
imagine
store
that in his voice, and
and I
it's
ask
so
them, do
good.
you have any of those little triangle sandwiches? And they say, no. Did you try going to a party? And I said, I went to a party. Like, he'll say anything. One time in one of his, during COVID, he did a stand up special. It was the last stand up special he did before he died, which is really fucking sad. But during COVID, he does a stand up special and he's just like in his house, just talking to the camera with no audience feedback whatsoever. And it's incredible, incredible comedy. Some of the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. And he literally answers the phone in the middle of it and somebody calls him and he's like, hello? He's like, I'm doing a special right now for the TV. Yeah, I'm on the TV right now. The way he says TV. He doesn't say TV. He says TV. It was
His
so funny.
delivery is just so perfect. Like, I really like Mike Tyson Mysteries. I watched like a whole bunch of that a few years ago, and he's the pigeon,
Hmm.
and he's just perfect in that role. He was the genie in Fairly Odd Parents, and somehow he's even still funny in the kid-friendly show.
He plays Death in Family Guy too.
Death and Family Guy, that's another one.
My top five comedians, in no order, are Norm Macdonald. We know about Norm Macdonald. Norm Macdonald is tells convoluted jokes, and like he kind of seems like he's always in character, but that's also kind of just his personality. But like he just said, I don't know how to describe his comedy style, man, but it's incredible. Godfrey, have you ever seen that video where there's like six black dudes with like and they have a Starbucks cup and they're passing it around? He's like, fellas, you need to get yourself a Starbucks cup because when the police come and start asking questions, if you're a black man with a Starbucks cup, you look completely innocent, and they just pass around the Starbucks cup, and so you got to go like, it's like it's such a hilarious video. But I found out about this comedian Godfrey from that, and he does like amazing social commentary. Um, he did like this bit just ripping into mega churches, and despite coming from a family, a privileged family of African immigrants in America, talks about the African American culture a lot and gets really deep into the pro black stuff and does it through a comedic lens, but also a serious lens, and talks a lot about black history. And I feel like I actually, it's a very white thing to say, but I learn a lot. I learn a lot when I listen to Godfrey talk about things. Tom Green. Do you know Tom Green?
I've heard of him. I know he had a show.
I cannot even describe what the fuck Tom Green is. Tom Green is like kind of very abstract comedy. That's all I can say. Get the fuck into Tom Green. We got to watch the Tom Green show together at some point. Trevor Moore, we were just talking about Trevor Moore from The Whitest Kids You Know. Sketch comedian, theater kid who grew up and became a great comedian. Does stand up, does sketch comedy. Great stuff. Really funny. Really unique sense of humor. Edgy, but not so edgy that it's like just shock value. Like he takes shock value and he molds it with like actually like genuinely interesting wordplay, and it's poetic and very theatrical in a way. The way he does it, like The Whitest Kids You Know used to go on. Um, The Whitest Kids You Know used to go on tour and do their skits, but just on stage with like barely any props, like it was theater, and it was so cool. And then Russell
Why does Kids You
Peters.
Know? I gotta watch like full episodes of that because it seems like maybe the first sketch show I've ever seen where like it all hits. Because for me, like sketch
Ooh.
shows have always been a format where like I've never really been like fully into a sketch show. Like I feel like most of them I've seen that are for kids, and like maybe the one I've liked the most out of all that I've seen is the Amanda Show, and like even that one, like I don't laugh at profusely because a lot of it is like for kids, so it's not funny to me anymore.
Whitest
But
Kids
some
You
of it
Know
still holds
has
up.
really long, drawn out bits sometimes that make it hard to
And
watch
I
full
like
episodes.
long drawn out
It's
bits
hard to
though, so
watch a
I
full
feel
episode
like
though, because sometimes it's really long and drawn out, and it's just not funny, dude. Like
it's just not there.
sometimes the punchline was like 10 minutes ago, and they're just jamming the punchline down your throat for like 10 more minutes. And not in like a Norm Macdonald like way where that just somehow fucking works with his cadence. In a way where it's like, okay, we've been doing this for like 10 minutes. What like
There's a
next?
frog, and he went to the bank to get a loan. Such a
Russell Peters,
good bit.
last comedian on my list. Russell Peters. He's an Indian Canadian guy who talks a lot about like makes borderline racist jokes sometimes, but like talks a lot about immigrants, different parts of the world, different kinds of people, and how they interact with each other. He has like a bit about how like Chinese people can't do business with Indian people, stuff like that. A lot of like, but like he handles race in a very empathetic and like understanding way that doesn't come off as prejudiced at all, and he can explore things like stereotypes and even appropriate them in a way that's funny and not mean. Like the audience, he does insult comedy too, and the audience is always he has one of the most diverse crowds that I've ever seen watching like stand-up specials. Like he has people of every single shade in his audience, and he just rips on everybody equally, like a true equal opportunity offender. And um, I think he does a good job of doing so. I didn't appreciate. I don't appreciate some of his like political stuff. Um, he's definitely a more conservative fella. Um, but he's definitely not like, I don't think of him as a prejudiced man. I just think of him as a more fiscally
He's just
and
edgy.
not no like I don't associate his edginess with his politics. He's edgy in a very he's very edgy in a true to the spirit of edginess way, where he's not just using edgy as like he's not expressing prejudice through edginess. He's like just genuinely being edgy and funny. But like his actual political opinions tend to be very very fiscally conservative and very like a little more tolerant than I would be happy with of some crazy shit. But he's just like the doesn't give a fuck kind of guy, and that attitude I can appreciate in a lot of people. I really like him a lot. Just gives me
You're
conservative
like
vibes
you're
sometimes.
sporadically like cutting out, like your mic's
Oh
like not
shit.
catching you sometimes.
I think that's probably just my Discord settings, unfortunately.
Sorry, did I destroy your whole train of thought?
Yeah, you kind of did, but I'm okay.
Sorry.
So yeah,
I feel bad
no,
now.
it's okay. It's not a big deal. Comedians are fucking awesome, dude. I love comedy.
I remember I saw this tweet and I was like considering, and I was like, I don't even want to retweet this because it would be embarrassing because I know it's gonna be just like internet guys. Because those are the funniest guys to me. It's gonna be all the guys you would expect me to say.
Go on.
Like fucking Asterios Kokodos,
Hmm.
Dick Masterson,
I
Monkey
almost
Jones.
I almost put Asterios Kokodos in my top 5 comedians. Have you seen his stand up?
He
It's fucking
he
hilarious.
he is like the funniest guy to me. Like if
Yeah,
I had to give somebody a trophy for funniest guy, it is Asterios Kokonos. Like that's crazy because like also in the top five is like probably Norm Macdonald, who's like a real comedian, but I give the trophy to Asterios Kokonos.
yeah. Asterios Kokonos is incredible. His he has a very unique niche. He did because he performed at like that like nerd like that
Tournament of
nerd
Nerds.
festival tournament of nerds or whatever, and he did so fucking good. With just being in all of his special, he talks about being a nerd. Nerd comedy, and it's not, and it's in like it's he's so self aware that it's not cringy for him to talk about
It's like
nerdy shit.
improv character nerd comedy.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
Like, have
He's
you ever
so
seen
funny.
people? I've seen people like use this as an own against Dick and say it wasn't funny, and like to like the real macho men who still listen to Dick now, mostly it probably isn't funny. But there was this Screen Junkies Beauty and the Beast roast that Dick was Gaston in, and I think it was fucking hilarious.
Hmm.
I think he played the role perfectly. I think it was funny. There were some other like internet comedy people in it I liked. A lot of the safer, sanitized LA comedy people, and it's really weird to see Dick perform alongside them. It's kind of a rare gem.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking Courtney from Smosh is there, hanging out with Dick Masterson.
Dick Masterson makes people uncomfortable, but in a way that I feel like a lot of people like secretly admire people like Dick Masterson who are just like crazy off the edge, but they have to sanitize themselves, you know? So
Yeah.
it's cool to see them pay their respects. Um,
Like genuine like Asterios Kokonos, Dick Masterson, and like maybe Monkey Jones would like for real be in my top five comedians. And then like Norm Macdonald would probably be like one real comedian who's definitely in the top five.
if I
And
could,
maybe like Jim Norton.
there are
And
like
that's the five.
there are a lot of things that there's a lot of media that I consume, but I would say like out of all the media I consume, comedy is the one where like I would just love to fucking hang out with the people involved in it. Like I would love to hang out with comedians, be friends with comedians. Maybe
Yeah, for
rappers,
sure.
more rappers too, because I feel like I don't mean to like brag, but like I'm gonna say this with confidence. I know a lot about rap music, the process of rapping. Just as a rapper myself, believe it or not, guys, I actually kind of take myself seriously as a rapper. Just someone with, I have an insane amount of respect for the craft of rhyming, and I would love to be able to have a more in-depth conversation about that with other people because I don't really know other rappers like that because I'm fucking trans and all my friends are trans people who don't like rap music. Um, but comedians as well. Like I have so much respect for comedy that I feel like hanging out with comedians would teach me to be funnier too.
This Discord shit is bad. I'm hoping the people can hear you fully at
Chat, can
least.
you guys hear me? Riley, I'm cutting out on Riley's end. I'm pretty sure it's just a Discord thing on his
I
end.
think you
But
need to
if you guys
turn
can hear
up
me,
like
okay.
down your sensitivity or
Turn
whatever
up
the
my
direction would
sensitivity.
be.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a new scene, and says they can hear me fine. All right, I'm back, guys. I turned on automatic gain control. Riley, tell me if that fixes anything because it doesn't sound like lagging. It sounds like cutting out, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do I
It
sound?
sounds like your mic is like stopping catching you
Is it
because it's
still
like
doing that?
the gain is fucked.
Is it still doing that?
It's
Is the
doing it.
question.
It's doing it now. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like as long as they don't hear noise because it's a separate track,
Yeah,
which I
there
don't
was a
think they
black.
do.
Yeah, sorry guys about the black screen. Sorry about the black screen. I had to edit my
It did
settings,
have
and I
it
didn't
did
want to leak
have the
any
side
DMs.
effect of making you louder, so I'm working on turning you down, and that takes like 7 years with my computer. Come on, you can do it. You can open the sound menu. I believe in you, computer. Because if I do it with the remote, it makes my microphone mute forever because of some weird glitch that I don't know how to explain. Okay, that should be better. We should be a poppin'. Yeah, he's good. Rich Voss. I think he's pretty funny. TJ Miller, I think, is pretty funny
Mm,
as a comedian.
great guy, TJ Miller.
Great guy, TJ Miller.
Very just a man who's so grateful for the opportunities.
Yeah.
that more famous people have given him. Dasher says, I think the whole idea of getting into the comedy scene is an idea everyone has when getting into stand up, but if you did, you'd realize it's years of learning and refining the art, and it's really sad. Yeah, no, stand up is so hard. I performed not I haven't performed stand up comedy, but I perform rap music, and I try to tell jokes in between songs, and even doing that is so difficult. Like delivering everything perfectly, making sure you write a joke or prepare a joke with and predicting the audience reaction. You know what I mean? So you can move forward and forward and forward. That's the hardest part for me.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do stand up. I've thought about it. I've like thought about workshopping bits. I don't know how it would go if I really went for it. Because I'm terrible at memorization, and I don't know how good I would do it like getting it on the fly, but still hitting all the points of what I wrote.
Um, you want to hear a joke?
Sure.
All right, let me find one. I said it as if I had one. You know, they say, I once heard someone ask, what's the male version of saying "fuck it, I'll become a stripper," right? Because that's what they say when a woman is down on her luck and is like, you know what, fuck it, I'll become a stripper. This is the lucrative path for me. It's degrading, it's sacrificing a lot, but you know what? It's gonna make me decent money, but and it's gonna be worth it. You know, fuck
It's
it, I'll
fuck
become
it,
a
I'll become a
stripper.
plumber, right?
It's fuck it, I'll join
Because
the army.
oh, okay.
Fuck it, I'll join the army. But then I thought to myself, they don't have like strip club recruiters that come to high school girls and say, "You're okay. You guys are beautiful," because they come to these teenage
I think I've
boys.
actually seen the clip you're quoting, right?
I made this up.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Unless you've done this bit to
I've
me
done this bit to you
before.
before, probably.
Oh, okay.
Um, they go up to these men and they're like, "You okay? You're a strong young man. You'd be well fit for the army." And we don't think of that as fucked up. But if you did that to the same thing to 16-year-old girls and said you have a beautiful body, you should become a stripper. That's disgusting. And what I want to know is why is it okay to? I know why it's. I know it's why it's actually not okay. It's because the strip club is like an inherently like sexual thing, and sexualizing children is the big no go. But like, if you really think about it, you're assessing like the physical, like quality, the quality of someone's physicality for a line of work at a young age. It would just. I feel like there's an alternate universe where they have strip club recruiters, and I think that's really fucked up. And I also think army recruiters are really bad.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That wasn't a. It just became a rant.
I saw this stand up. I get stand up clips occasionally on my YouTube shorts, and sometimes they're funny, and sometimes they're this one chick who did like a whole bit about wanting to fuck her dad, and it was like nothing but groans from the audience. None of this. There was some like shock laughter, but most of it was just like, and the whole time she's like, "Come on, didn't you ever like? Come on."
No, comedians who can tastefully bomb. That is incredible. There's this one guy, this one amazing oh my god. Oh, I want to find it so bad because I want people to check him out. I want to credit him. But there's this one guy who was like, I love roast beef. He was like, I love corned beef so much, bro. He was like, putting corned beef in front of me and expecting me not to eat it is like putting porn in front of me and expecting me not to beat off. And he just starts laughing maniacally at his own joke. And literally nobody in the audience was like laughing besides pity laughter. It was so obviously pity laughter. And he keeps going with like full confidence, just telling the worst jokes ever. And then it's so embarrassing when you're on that stage. But then when you watch the clip on Instagram and people get that you're bombing on purpose, like it's so funny. It's such a worthwhile investment. Tastefully bombing for the sake of like an online audience. So cool. Let me try to find it. Entertain chat, Riley.
Hey, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the show.
What else should we talk
How's it
about today?
going, chat? I don't know. We've been going on about comedians for a long time. Has anybody in the chat been talking about their favorite comedians? Come on, guys. We gotta get that chat interaction going. You guys out there in the world.
How about a Caillou? Um, how about a Caillou impression? Is Jason
Statham, I
Stratham?
believe. Hi, Theta May. Theta May said hi.
What's up, Theta Man? Um, are we
But
running
yeah,
out
no,
of?
I,
Are we running out of
I wish
material?
it's maybe. I wish Asterios like did more comedy.
Oh yeah.
Like his career's kind of winding down, and I feel like his prime could be ahead of him if he remained motivated. And it seems like maybe he's coming back. They're like putting him on the front page of Patreon right now, so he's making more stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's a cool open door that he's getting. He's doing a C punk RPG now and posting that to Patreon. And they're
I
trying to do the loudest podcast a bit more. The loudest podcast has become like a bi-monthly podcast
I
at
want
this point.
Asterios to. The one time I will agree with Trixie the Golden Witch is that Asterios Kokonos is terrible at marketing on the internet. Terrible. Um, Asterios Kokonos is so funny, but he makes such specific content for such a specific audience. And if he broadened it out a little bit, man, he could be a Netflix comedian, man. Like he's that level of talented.
Yeah, I think he does have it, but it's hard. It's just
He's
hard to
written
get out there in
he
that
wrote for
way.
Mad TV. Like he has shit under his belt. Um
Yeah, he's written for real TV stuff. He wrote for some like fucking like kids show that I remember seeing. Like I read online that he wrote for it, and I was like, what the fuck, really? It was like this like animated sketch show on Disney XD.
Classcore says, "What about Shane Gillis or Tim Dillon?" Shane Gillis is kind of sussy wussy, not gonna lie, but I love his comedy. Love his comedy. He's fucking hilarious. He's the Shane Gillis reaches across the political spectrum and has people of all different like he talks about politics and has people from all over the political spectrum laughing together, and I think that's a very beautiful thing. Just don't be friends with Sam Hyde, the Nazi pedophile. You didn't have to do that, Shane Gillis. I hope you know that about Sam Hyde.
I've heard these rumors about Sam Hyde. I don't know much about the scenarios and
He
what's
like
going on.
almost definitely fucked like a 15-year-old like way before he got like famous.
That's gross.
Yeah, pretty yucky stuff. But I like here's the thing, it's one of those allegations where I saw the evidence and I looked at it and was like, wow, this definitely happened, but then I kind of forgot the evidence. So it's like I know in my heart, but like when someone asks me, it's like I have opinions like this too. Like I know in my heart that I hold this opinion because I've been convinced of it and I trust myself to not convince myself of something without seeing the evidence. But like I don't have enough fucking space in my brain to remember the specific details of and proof why everyone on the internet is a rapist or a pedophile. So I'll probably have to do more research into that. There's not like a really big like exposed video on Sam Hyde. Sam Hyde is pretty beloved by like video essayists, like the edgy people who would talk about comedians online. So, um, Sam Hyde's one of those people who people outside of his audience don't really care about him, and his audience is mostly made of terrible people. But there's also the occasional person who doesn't know how bad he is or doesn't understand his connections to
Well,
the alt
Sam Hyde
right.
has become like a little bit more mainstream now because of Fish Tank, right?
Yeah, that too.
Which Sam Hyde is one of those people where like I think of him and I think, yeah, that guy's funny, but like I've only ever seen him do one thing. Like the only Sam Hyde I've ever seen was he was on PKA and he was in character for this like Fish Tank LARPing season they were doing. And he was doing this like silly like count character who was like,
Okay.
"Yes, we make them compete for $20," and it was really funny. But that's the only thing I've ever seen Sam Hyde do. I've never seen World Peace. I've never seen this podcast that I guess he does now that people like. I've just seen that one PK appearance that was funny, and that's all I know of Sam Hyde.
Yeah. Understandable. He did like a TED talk. He got a TED talk and he did it in character. That was pretty funny. He was like, state mandated homosexuality is the future. And like did like a total like bullshit fake TED talk. It was pretty funny. Sonic Centipede says Sam Hyde has done a lot of funny shit, but he's a horrible human being. Yeah, this is true. Spice Chai says, talk about my cats. He did. I love Mad. There's a photo of him with a 15-year-old girlfriend with a broken nose, Lamau. Yeah. Um, yeah, pretty weird.
That
Pretty.
being Sam Hyde, not Asterios Kokonos, who wrote for
Yes.
Mad.
Yes. Sam Asterios Kokonos pictured with a 15-year-old girl with a bloody
No,
nose.
no.
Yeah, I imagine like one person mishearing that and being like, and
Quote,
going
yeah. I
tweeting
can't believe
like a whole,
Asterios
making a
Kokonos
whole
did that.
exposed thread. I can't believe Asterios Kokonos had a
Maddox
15-year-old
would do
girlfriend.
that. Maddox would hear this and be like,
Yeah, Matt.
yes, this
Max will
is
be
true.
these two these two completely random
Typical.
podcasts. These two completely random podcast hosts who have no idea what the fuck they're talking about mentioned pedophile and Asterios Kokonos in the same 15 minutes. Therefore, I've comfortably come to the conclusion that Asterios Kokonos is a child rapist who deserves to be put in jail for the rest of his life. Death to
Yeah.
Asterios Kokonos.
Asterios Kokonos. He targeted my book sales.
He targeted my book sales. My book. Dude,
Okay,
Maddox is
hold on.
such a
I
bitch.
gotta feed my cats. They're
Okay.
crying out the door.
All right, chat. How are you guys doing? Talk to me, chat. Talk to me, chat. What's going on? How do you like the show so far? What do you want us to talk about? What kind of comedians do you like for stand-up comedy? Um, yeah, I know there's a delay, so I'm just gonna keep rambling until I see responses. My name is Demigloom. I live at 308 Negro Arroyo Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87104. This is my confession. Um, do do do. Oh, Riley's talking to his cats, and we can hear him. I moved out of my parents' house, y'all. By the way, I don't live there anymore. I have let's call it an apartment. Spice tries to talk about my cats. All right, Squeebo. Squeebo has these two cats. Okay, Iggy and Ozzy. Not named after Iggy Koopa from Super Mario World and Ozzy Osbourne, as I thought, but named after, I believe, both JoJo's Bizarre Adventure characters. I'm really stupid, so whatever. And Iggy is a little bitch. Anytime you pet Iggy, he'll be like into it. Iggy will lead you on and be like, ah, and bite you. He's like one of those cats. That's why I'm a dog person. These cats be doing shit like that, okay? But Ozzy is such a fucking sweetheart. Ozzy is like so happy to see me whenever I see him. He lets me pet him. He rolls over for belly rubs. Very nice kitty. What about your IP address? Oh, my IP address. I don't know what it is. Y'all could probably pull my IP pretty fucking easily though. I'm on every website known to man. Sonic the Centipede says my favorite living comedian is Bill Burr because I'm a normie. Bill Burr is so cool. Yeah, I love
He
Bill
seems
Burr.
pretty
Theta May says congrats. Thank you. Spice Chai says Norp.
cool.
Oz was named after a Buffy character. My sister named him. Ah, okay. Spice Chai says Bill Burr is awesome. Talk about him. Bill Burr Bill Burr has been like first of all, incredible actor in Breaking Bad. That was my introduction to
True.
Bill Burr. Actually, my introduction to Bill Burr was Chappelle's Show. He was incredible in Chappelle's Show. He was just like a supporting comedian / actor in Chappelle's Show. A very young Bill Burr, like before he was famous, was on Chappelle's Show. Was really good. But he just like woke up and decided to be incredibly based about politics, and I think he's a I think he's a left of center guy, but he's not like a staunch leftist. But he really sees what's going on with the MAGA bullshit and is just calling it out. You know, he understands our frustration. Um, and for that we love him.
Real.
Special says, "Oh, it was the character Seth Green played in Buffy." I don't know Seth Green outside of
I've been
Family
thinking
Guy.
about watching Buffy. Buffy's one of those things where there's this niche kind of like podcast network that I listen to religiously. It's called Hey Jake and Josh, and it's just these two dudes who like were roommates. Started a podcast
They were
about Power
roommates.
Rangers. So they started a podcast about Power Rangers one day because they were bored, and then that slowly evolved into them starting a podcast about Pokemon, and they started a Pokemon tabletop podcast, and then they just started like a general tabletop podcast, and it turned into like this whole network. And they don't have a lot of listeners, but they have like a pretty like devout fan base. And I've been listening to them for many years, and they're like some of the funniest people there are, and they seem to like a lot of the same things I like for a lot of the same reasons. So there's a lot of things that like they recommend that I'm like thinking of watching because they like it. And Buffy is one of the big things. Like fucking Jake is obsessed with Buffy, and like every time he talks about it, I'm like, that does sound pretty rad actually. So I might have to start watching Buffy. Buffy and wrestling are the two big things that I might have to start watching at Jake and Josh's behest.
Wrestling?
Yeah, they're really into wrestling, and it seems like it seems like it is like the type of thing I would be into in theory, but I just like never got into it as a kid.
You look like you like wrestling.
I never got into it because it had always been sold to me as a sport, and I was not a sports guy. But from what I hear now, it's literally just like a live action anime that they pretend is real, where they
Yeah.
write a story and act it out and like do cool fucking fighting moves and shit. And I'm like, that sounds awesome, actually. But like, I have no clue where to start because there's so much.
There was the have you seen either the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, read the Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, or watched the South Park episode about wrestling? Any of those things? Because it's the same exact bit.
2 out of 3.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
I have not seen the South Park episode about wrestling.
You know how like they're like it's the classic trope of these kids like watch wrestling on TV, so they sign up to wrestling at school. And they're like, dude, we're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
like be
yeah, yeah.
smashing into each other. It's gonna be fucking. They have wrestling at school. That's awesome. And you get this fucking gym teacher who's like, that is not real wrestling. And then they're in like, they like dress these like 12-year-old boys in like fucking thongs and shit, and have
Leotards
them
and
like hug each other and just roll around on the ground, getting each other's body fluid into each other. It's fucking disgusting.
oh
Who
god.
the fuck wants to do that? It's so dumb. Fuck real wrestling, dude. I want I love WWE. It's so cool. I hate Vince McMahon, but like it's such a cool concept.
Yeah, Vince McMahon seems pretty terrible. But a lot of wrestlers seem terrible, but also cool as shit. Like I knew even as a kid, like Hulk Hogan, terrible guy, but like even when I was a kid, I was like that. I had like a PS1 wrestling game, and I knew nothing about how wrestling was conducted in real life. But I saw Hulk Hogan, and I was like, hell yeah, that's the guy. I mained Hulk Hogan in that game because he just looked awesome. The
Yeah. Um
Hulkster, it's Hulkamania, brother.
I love that MAGA just like recruits like any slightly famous person they can, no matter how like unreputable and shitty of a person they are. They just have no standards at all. Like if you're really down on your money, you really need money, just become a fucking Trump supporter. They don't give a fuck who you raped. They don't give a fuck whose kids you touched. They don't give a shit at
Did you
all.
hear
They
about
don't care how racist you are.
to get to a more lighter topic? Did you hear about the John Cena heel turn that everybody freaked out about?
What happened?
John Cena's a bad guy now.
Like on WWE?
Yeah, he
Mm.
turned heel, I guess is the
Mm.
term. When he's secretly a bad guy. Some like scrawny dudes giving him some sort of belt. And John Cena gives him a hug, and Dwayne Johnson's there, and Dwayne Johnson's like looking at him from like behind the hug where the other guy can't see him. Like he can see John Cena, and John Cena can see him, but the other guy can't see Dwayne, and Dwayne's like He does like a, and then John Cena has like a that has like an evil like frown on his face, and then he trucks this fucking guy who's giving him this belt. And I guess that John Cena's a bad guy now, which everybody's freaking out because he's always been like this big goody two shoes, like charity, going to hospitals and seeing cancer kids guy, who's like always been like this like honorable noble warrior, and now he's turning heel. Dwayne the Rock
Mm.
Johnson's telling him to beat up scrawny dudes, giving him belts.
It's crazy. Glasscore says technically Trump is also a WWE character. This is true. Trump
Yeah,
was,
he's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
yeah, it's crazy. Ah,
Logan Paul's in the WWE, and I've heard he's actually like good at it.
yeah. I'm trying to think what we were talking about before WWE because we were talking about something that I had like I had a train of thought and like it was splitting down a couple paths and I wanted to pop knock them all out and I was like okay WWE is one of them. This is one of them and I
And
forgot
then
what it
you
was.
forgot one.
Forgot the other ones.
Shit.
Chat. What were we talking about before WWE? Comedian between comedians and WWE. Yeah. Somebody
Yeah.
earlier, I think Squeebo chatted earlier, most engaging podcast ever during like,
Yeah.
we were both on our phones for a second.
Because they're both on our
It
phones
was
fucking
amazing.
around.
Um, I would watch WWE if they created a wrestling league specifically for comedians, like already
Dude,
established comedians, dude. Oh,
that
Buffy,
would be
yeah.
so funny.
No, we were talking about Buffy and things you needed to get into. And WWE was one of them.
Yes, 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 yes.
What else was it? It was Buffy, WWE. What else were you saying you needed to get into from this podcast?
I think those are the main two I already said, but there might be some other things. There are a lot of things. I'm trying to get into Batman. I watched like 16 episodes of Batman the Animated Series and it was cool, but then I dropped it because I'm bad and I drop things all the time. Now I'm back on my like Power Rangers slash Super Sentai binge. I've been watching a lot of that lately. I just started Kaku Ranger, which is a Super Sentai, Crow Royalty's favorite Sentai that they've been bothering me to watch for years, and it does actually sound dope. So I started it, and it has been pretty good so far.
I bet there's like one dad out there who hears their kid talking about, Dad, I want to watch Super Sentai, and he doesn't know the difference between Sentai and Hentai. So
Yeah, I mean those are
he's like,
similar
what?
sounding words. I could see what
Well, I mean, it's like
happened.
anime. I wonder if there's like a Japanese guy who's like speaking Japanese, and then his son is like, "Watashi wa koron nu daisuki." He's like, "Porn," and he's like, you know, but here we wouldn't think twice. Like, yeah, they sound the same, but like nobody would ever associate those two things. But like Sentai and Hentai, but it's the same thing there.
Yeah,
Sentai, Hentai, yeah, similar
I
sounding
watched I watched
words.
an episode of Power Rangers that almost made me cry, mostly because the actor in it is dead. To kind of
Oh,
influence the emotion, but it was like it was probably the best episode of this season, which is Power Ranger Zia, which is my favorite season of Tommy, who is like the most famous Power Ranger, who that actor unfortunately took his own life back in November
oh,
of 2023.
I remember that.
Um,
I remember you were
and he
really
was
sad
like
about
he was
that.
like the main character of
What's
Power
the name of that
Rangers,
actor?
Jason David Frank.
Yeah.
And he was like the main character of Power Rangers for like its first 6 years of being on the air. And Power Ranger Zia was, I think, his best season. He was the Red Ranger at that point, the leader of the Power Rangers. And in this episode, they like erase his mind and like they brainwash him into thinking the Machine Empire, who are the villains, are the good guys, and he's the king of the Machine Empire. And the Power Rangers are evil, and the Machine Empire wants to stop the Power Rangers from
Wow.
destroying the world. So now Tommy thinks the Power Rangers are the bad guys, the Machine Empire is the good guys, and he's the king of the Machine Empire. And the Power Rangers have to go there and they have to snap him out of it. And it's kind of like the power of friendship always gets me, and it's like gay and it's for like little boys, but like it gets me in the feels when it's like they're like, okay, we said his name, and it's like starting to like mess with his mind. We're starting to get to him. We have to like, if he sees his friends, maybe we'll get through to him. So like he's morphed. He's got Power Rangers weapons. He's about to murder them, and they just like they take their armor off, and they're like, look at us, we're your friends. The Pink Ranger like hugs him as he's getting ready to
Oh,
like shoot her in the face, and they snap him out of it, and he turns around and he's like, I'm not listening to your lies anymore, Prince Gasket, I'm leaving with my friends, and he leads a triumphant charge, and it's like I teared up at that moment. It's beautiful stuff.
Squeebo asks if he's the one guy who was bullied relentlessly for being gay.
No, that was David Yost, who was the original Blue Ranger. That guy's cool. He was actually in Power Rangers again quite recently, and it was nice. I think the current staff is a lot better than back in the '90s. A lot of the production staff were like shitty, you know, homophobic people who were very mean to him,
Brian
and it was
Cranston
unfortunate.
called me the F slur every single day on set. Sonic the Centipede says, I can't watch a single episode of My Little Pony season 1 through 2 without crying. I can, but I have difficulty like if I were to rewatch all of My Little Pony, there are moments sorry. If I were to rewatch all of My Little Pony, um like start to finish, there are like checkpoints where I would cry multiple times throughout the show. Um yeah, like there are moments where I cannot. Like the ending, dude. When I watched that ending for the first time, I was crying so hard because it was over, but also because it was so beautiful. My Little Pony is such a good fucking show, dude. It is. My Little Pony is fine art, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. It's fucking banger, dude. Such a
I
good
feel like
show.
a lot of these people who talk about these types of like shows that they like, I feel like you would like Power Rangers. Like there's a lot of that, a lot of those same like emotional beats get hit in a really satisfying way. And it's like it's such an interesting, it's so easy to binge because it's like so varied. Like that's the thing, because it's like this weird like cheaply produced kids show, where like there's a different writer for every fucking episode. So like half the time it's like what the fuck is anything? What the fuck is a plot? What is happening right now? But then half the time it's like absolute cinema, and it's like this interesting mix that like makes for this very unique franchise that I vibe with extremely deeply.
It's like a soap opera. Power Rangers. It's like a
Kind
kid's
of.
soap opera, basically, in the visually how it's written. But I mean, it's its own unique genre. What's it called? Um, the
Tokusatsu.
yeah, tokusatsu. Um,
It's like at its core it was like, what if a show was half Saved by the Bell, half Tokusatsu,
yeah,
and from there it evolved into they like did kind of different types of themes from just like teens in high school, and it just kind of became this show where it's like every season there's a new group of like young adults, be they like the high school seniors at youngest, mid 20s at oldest, all the different kind of origin stories and things that they're up to, and how they come together and become friends and become Power Rangers, and you know learn the power of friendship to defeat an evil force in some manner. And some seasons are really goofy and really kiddie. Some seasons are fucking like insanely good for no reason, like Power Rangers Time Force, like insanely good for no reason. Power Rangers RPM, like I don't know who they were hiring during Power Rangers RPM, but man, that writing was something else. It was like it's this perfect blend of like a serious plot that actually gets you emotionally invested, and also like a goofy kind of parody of itself kind of thing. Like I almost compare it to like a kid-friendly equivalent of like what The Boys is, but like not really.
the boys. Power
Not
Rangers.
really, but like just
Well,
like this
because the
group of
the
kind of
heroes are
like
good guys.
the heroes are good guys, but it's like they're kind of like spoofing the idea of Power Rangers within this season of Power Rangers.
Hmm.
But also it's like a serious story that you actually get emotionally invested into and like get attached to the characters. Like it would be my favorite season if not for the nostalgia kind of feels that I have for Dino Thunder, which is a season where they kind of just they took the framework of the original show and they did it again 10 years later and they brought back Tommy as the mentor and then he becomes a Power Ranger again in his like late 20s early 30s.
So that was
And
like
it's
that was kind of like
dope.
how when you play a video game and you play the sequel to the video game and you're playing as like a younger, newer character, but like the character you used to play as is like now the older mentor who experienced everything
Yes,
from the last game. That's cool.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, just randomly they decided Power Rangers had been like every season with its own thing for a while, and we hadn't really heard from Tommy. And they were like, "What if we brought Tommy back, and now he's the mentor, and there's a new group of teens that he's got to teach to be Power Rangers." And that season kicked ass, and is my favorite season of Power Rangers. It's called Power Rangers Dino Thunder.
Riley, we
Yes.
got to wrap up.
All
I got to
right.
call my mom.
Sorry
Promised I'd
for
call her
ranting
at
about Power Rangers
No,
for an hour.
no, it's okay. This is really good. You know what, Riley? I don't know if I'm just really silly right now, but I'll watch. Right now, no promises. I think I want to watch Power Rangers though.
Dude,
Like, listening to you rant about this makes me into it. You realize
honestly,
this
if
is your
you
special interest, right?
it is my special. I have a lot of special interests. It's this and it's Pokemon and it's Dragon Ball are like the Mount Rushmore of my special interests. How many heads on Mount Rushmore? Four.
Four.
So the Mount Rushmore of my special interests is Power Rangers, Dragon Ball, Pokemon. Um, is there a fourth that I'm like really into? I'm trying to think. Probably like a podcast. Dick Masterson is the fourth head on the fucking the
Dick
the
Masterson.
Dick
Yeah,
Show cinematic universe is the fourth head.
rap music is my special interest
Yeah,
for
I would
sure.
say if you think you could commit to a long show, if you like it, Mighty Morphin. If you want like a shorter show that's good, RPM. RPM's only 32 episodes and it's a perfect self-contained story. Mighty Morphin is like 150 episodes, but it's like really good and character driven, and
With
I
Mighty
like it a
Morphin,
lot.
with Mighty Morphin, can you watch like a big chunk of it and then drop it without feeling incredibly dissatisfied?
I think
I guess
so.
what I'm
Like
saying is like
it's one of
if
those
I ended
things
up
where
dropping
there's
it,
like
would it be not worth it to have gotten in it in the first place?
I think it'll be worth it however much of it you watch. Like it's like it a story is told, but like a lot of it is episodic. It's one of those kinds of shows where like it's like a lot of filler and then every once in a while they'll be like, okay, this one has plot stuff that happens and then that affects the status quo going forward, but like it's still a lot of episodic.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll try to get into Power Rangers. No promises. As Squeeb will just
That would
point out,
that, that
I
would
need
be
to get back
dope.
into One Piece.
True, me too. I'm
But
behind.
but yeah. Do you want to do plugs real quick, and then I'll probably
Sure.
yeah.
linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe. Particularly Thursdays at 7 p.m. You can check out the Death Stream on Riley and Friends. Me and Brad, we're doing politics and current events. Brad wants to debate people. I'm told you rejected him. He complained about that on air for a
Hmm.
while.
This Glasscore says weakest Ferris versus strongest
I,
Demi. I don't know what that means, but I think the strongest Demi could beat up or I think the weakest Ferris could beat up the strongest Demi. Honestly, I'm pretty pathetic.
I think you should debate Brad, but I'll try to wear you down on
Well,
that
no,
in the
Brad.
future.
You want to know the truth? Brad kept bringing up a bunch of topics. Brad wanted to talk about a bunch of topics that I just don't care about. Not that I don't care about, that I don't know enough about.
Well, what are topics you would want to debate Brad on? We could kind of like negotiate the terms and have
If we talk about
something.
like trans stuff, I'll talk to Brad about trans stuff. But
I would love to have
Brad
you on.
wanted to talk to me about
You
like
kind of used
Ukraine.
to you kind of were the soft co-host of the Death Stream in its previous incarnation.
What do you mean?
So
I
I gotta
was
have
the
you back
100%.
on.
It was our show at one point.
It was our you kind of like railroaded into being that, and I was fine with it. And then eventually you just like weren't doing as many shows, so I did a couple without you. And it just kind of turned into it was just me. And then it died for 2 years, and I was like, you know what? Me and Brad have been doing a lot of politics talk. We figure we'll just start doing the death stream,
Didn't I
and we'll
stream the
make it a
original Death
thing.
Stream?
No, the
No.
original death stream was on my Twitch. And
Oh,
then we
we put
said
it
some
on.
slurs, and we were like, "This is not a Twitch show," so we brought
Yeah.
it to YouTube.
Something we said. Brad tasted music. Damn, he really had a downfall. He's doing shows with Riley now.
True,
Rest
definitely
in
talk
peace,
about
Brad
Brad taste
tasted
music.
music. I love Brad tasted music. I don't think he did anything bad enough to deserve to be exiled from the internet. I think he's just really, um, I think he's an emotionally mature guy. Honestly, I just think he has slips. He slips and falls on his face every now and then, and he over apologizes and over corrects himself. I think with Brad tasted music, his path to redemption looks like just unapologetically getting back to the music stuff and apologizing for what he's done before, but not making. There's a difference between saying, "Hi, I'm really sorry for what I've done. I've experienced. I'm not doing very well mentally, and I intend fully on being a better person in the future." Cool. I've made a severe, but now he's doing like I've made a severe and continuous lapse in judgment. I'm going to rehab. Oh, I relapsed on weed recently. Oh, this and that, and it's like telling his whole life story. And he made a video in the past talking about how good his mental health was doing. And he was like, you know what? I don't need to. He was like, I don't need to make videos about my mental health anymore. That's none of your guys' business, because it isn't none of our. It's none of our business. We understand. Like his fan base has constantly shown him that they understand that he's going to make mistakes, but he keeps overcorrecting and over apologizing and making it like his recovery like a huge public thing, and that's not helpful at all, man.
No.
I love Brad Taste of Music though, man. He's a great guy. He Sonic the Centipede fucking paid for Brad Taste of Music to react to my song, and he gave amazing feedback on my song, and I always appreciate that. And I watch his content all the time. It entertains the shit out of me. I think he's a really good music commentator. He's a very relatable guy, and he's less like an Anthony Fantano in the sense that he doesn't assess like the quality of music as much as he's just a guy, and he's like, do I like this music or do I not? You know,
Yeah.
really cool stuff. Sonic the Centipede says the first death stream was the first time I talked to Demi outside of like 3 DMs. Is that true? That might be true. We got to wrap this up though.
All right.
I don't have anything to plug right now. All I have to say is stay tuned. Music and podcasts. I'm working on it, man.
I'm gonna make you come on the issue crew more. I'm gonna make you debate Brad on the death stream. It's gonna
Yeah, I should be
happen.
down. Sounds good.
And that's
Where
it.
you don't have any plugs?
linktr.ee/Riley Cinematic Universe
Link in the
and on
description, by the way.
Yep, link in the description. And like I said, Thursdays at 7 p.m. the death stream on the Riley and Friends YouTube channel. Check it out. Don't miss it. We might be. Damn, both of my live shows are going to be on the same day. I just realized I'm going to be at noon. We'll have the Trans Fat Experience. And at 7, there'll be the death stream. Thursday is Riley Day for YouTube live stream watchers.
Nice. Theta May says, Demigloom, come on the issue crew. I want to guest again. Sure thing. I'll do it.
Yeah, we gotta have Theta May on again and have Demigloom on. That'd be good.
We should do that before I get a job because I might not have Mondays open. So we should do that soon.
Oh, shit, yeah.
What day is today? Sunday or Saturday?
You should try to get day shifts so that you have like a normal life, and then at night we can do things. And it's basically like you have every day off.
Yeah, perhaps. Today's only Saturday. I should probably be able to come on the next issue crew if Theta May wants to come on. Theta May also says, "So
Okay.
glad you're back." Thank you. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be back with y'all. And no offense to y'all in reference to my audience. I'm gonna be a little bit more distant. I'm not gonna be like terminally online, like 24/7, engaging with the community. I have a real life now. I got responsibilities, but I'll be here a lot still. I'll be here all the time. Thank you guys for supporting me through all of this shit. A lot of it's a lot easier to hate me than to like me on the internet. And I appreciate every every last one of you. And I realize I'm talking to 3 viewers, but like I'm uniquely grateful for all 3 of you guys. Thank you guys for watching so much.
We love you, Demigloom. We're glad you're back.
Thank you. All right, I
Hearts in the chat for
gotta
Demigloom.
call my mom. Talk to you guys later.
Okay.